Today, I want to start with a story that is very personal to me. My brother-in-law was a kind, hard-working man who always put his family first. One day, while vacationing in Europe, he started having chest discomfort, nothing too alarming. So he thought it was just indigestion or perhaps stress and decided to brush it off. Next day, his symptoms returned a bit more intense than before. Still, he brushed it off, but ended up driving himself later on that day to the emergency room. But here's the thing, because he did not call 911, he wasn't treated as an emergency case. He sat alone in the waiting room, trying to reassure himself everything would work out fine. Tragically, he did not survive. That experience has stayed with me, and it's why I'm passionate about making sure you know the warning signs of a heart attack and what to do if they appear. Every 40 seconds, someone in America has a heart attack, and it doesn't have to be this way. If my brother-in-law had known what I'm about to share with you today, his story might end up very differently. Think about it. By the time you wrap up this video, lives will be forever changed. Heart disease is the #1 cause of death in men and in women. But here's the good news. Knowing the warning signs that you might be having a heart attack can save your life or the life of someone you love. What is a heart attack? Your heart is a tireless muscle that pumps blood throughout your body and gets energy from the blood flowing through special arteries called coronary arteries. If one of these arteries gets blocked, usually by a plaque buildup, that part of the heart can't get oxygen and nutrients and starts to die. This is what we call a heart attack. In this video, I'll walk through the 7 warning signs of a heart attack that you should never ignore. Some of them are obvious, others are more subtle, but all of them are signals that your heart needs help. Let's dive right into them. Chest pain. This is the most common symptom of a heart attack in both men and in women. And it's often described as a pressure, as an elephant sitting in your chest, crushing pain, and squeezing sensation. And it can also radiate to your left shoulder, left arm, the right shoulder, the right arm, even to your neck and the jaw, or to your back between the shoulder blades, or even to your stomach. But here's the thing, for some people, it's not that severe. It could be felt like numbness or tingling sensation, discomfort, even in your stomach area. And the pain might come and go, but if it doesn't go away, if it persists, it's unusual for you, you need to pay attention. Quick question. Have you or someone you know ever experienced a chest pain that turned out to be a heart attack and you did not call the 911? If so, share your story in the comments below. It could help someone else. Cold sweats. If you suddenly break out in a cold sweat for no clear reason, you're not exercising, you're not in a hot environment, it could be a sign of a heart attack. And you may notice beads of sweat forming your forehead, even when you are at rest. Don't ignore this. It's your body signaling that something isn't quite right. Nausea and vomiting. Heart attacks can sometimes mimic indigestion or acid reflux. If you feel stomach discomfort, nausea, or even vomit, don't assume it's just something you ate. These symptoms can be a major warning sign, especially if they appear out of nowhere, out of the blue. And these symptoms are more common in one type of heart attack called the inferior wall heart attack, where the heart attack happens on the inferior wall of the heart, the part of the heart that sits on the diaphragm, the muscle that separates the chest from the abdomen. Shortness of breath. If you suddenly feel like you can't catch your breath, even when you're not exerting yourself, could be a red flag. Shortness of breath might be the only symptom, or may be associated with pain or sweating. Heart palpitations, feeling your heart racing, skipping, or pounding in your chest. These palpitations could signal that something is wrong. if they came out of nowhere and they are accompanied by other symptoms, it's again a red flag. Let me tell you Joanne's story. Joanne was a nurse practitioner who worked with me for many years. One day, she was working in another clinic, and one of the nurses started having chest pain, palpitations, and racing, and was very anxious. And the staff around her said, "Oh, don't worry, we know she has panic attacks. It's probably one more of those." And Joanne knew a little bit better and said, "Well, okay, let's just do an electrocardiogram." And in fact, this nurse that had been labeled having panic attacks is being treated for that with medications for anxiety like Valium type. In fact, was having a racing in the heart, in the upper chamber of the heart, we call supraventricular tachycardia. Her heart was going above 200 beats per minute. Yes, she was anxious, but she was anxious because she had underlying heart condition. Dizziness or lightheadedness. If your heart isn't pumping properly, your brain may not get enough blood, leaving you dizzy or lightheaded, or even causing you to pass out. This is a serious symptom that needs immediate attention. Now, a quick question. How many of you have had symptoms other than chest pain, dizziness, lightheadedness, or nausea, and thought, well, it's probably nothing, and you did not call 911, that you later found out was warning signs of a heart attack? If this has happened to you or someone you know, share on the comments below. Cardiac arrest, sudden cardiac death. Yes, sudden cardiac death is not a heart attack, but it can be caused by a heart attack. It is different from a heart attack. In a heart attack, part of your heart muscle is just not working properly, but the overall heart is still pumping blood to your brain and the rest of your body. In a cardiac arrest, the heart stops completely, usually due to electrical phenomenon called ventricular tachycardia or ventricular fibrillation, and you have what we call circulatory arrest. And without CPR and defibrillation, you are not going to survive. And if you want to learn more about sudden cardiac death, check out this video, Top Warning Signs of Cardiac Arrest. Put the link above and on the description below. We went over 7 warning signs that you might be having a heart attack. What to do if you suspect you're having a heart attack? First and foremost, do not ignore your symptoms and call 911. We all tend to minimize our symptoms and hope that they're going to go away. Don't fall for this trap. And if there are no contraindications, you might place an aspirin under your tongue. And if you have been prescribed nitroglycerin tablets because you already have coronary artery disease, put one under your tongue, usually comes 0.4 milligrams, and repeat it in 5 minutes. And if the pain still persists after the third nitroglycerin, it's time to call 911. And here's a very important issue. Do not drive yourself or have a friend or family member drive you to the emergency room unless you absolutely have no access to 911. If you pass out and you're driving, not only you can hurt yourself, you can hurt others. And God forbid, if your heart attack leads to a cardiac arrest, do you think that your family member or your friend is equipped to handle it? No. And even if the worst does not happen, the emergency people can't contact the emergency room, initiate therapy right away, and inform the hospital that you're coming, so they will activate the team to get you to the cardiac catheterization laboratory to open up your artery that's causing the heart attack. And remember, under this situation, time is muscle. Sooner we can open the artery better because we'll limit the amount of damage to your heart. And also, if you arrive by ambulance, you have priority over everybody else. You will not have to wait, as it happened to my brother-in-law who had a heart attack, got to the ER, but did not survive. He was not even monitored properly. And let me show you this again. My brother-in-law thought he could handle it alone, and it did not. It paid the ultimate price. If you want to learn more what to do after a heart attack, watch this video, after a heart attack and clogging heart arteries naturally. I'll put the link above and on the description below. And remember, your health, your most precious asset. Take control. See you next video.